Hello everyone, this is FunkyGamer26 here, and today I'm back for another banger video. Today we're going to be talking about a new exploit that has been found that could potentially kill the Gen 6 games altogether. So the origin of this has started after the infamous ZD uploaded a video on his channel on the 30th of August, showing off he has made a cheat to change the color text of your character name on Pokemon X and Y and auras. As you can see from the screenshots that I've shown on screen, it's pretty straightforward. It just lets you change your player name and also sometimes your profile message to be whatever color that you like. You can go from like red, green, blue, pink, purple. You can go for a full list of them, and it also displays online as well. So once ZD uploaded this video, obviously we had to quickly bootleg this shit. It's pretty interesting seeing how I've never seen anyone else actually have a colored name on Pokemon X and Y in the entire time the game has actually been made in public. So the infamous hacker Spooky, he hopped on and he probably found this shit in like a day. It wasn't too hard for him because he's pretty smart. After discovering this, then obviously he shared it to me and his other friends, and so now we also have the ability to change our name colors in game. After experimenting for a while, we also found out you can change the name color of Pokemon itself. So like as the example here I'll show on screen, I now have a Floette with a pink name. I also have some other mythicals, but they're more novelty if anything. You see, once you edit these Pokemon to have a colored name or something, it basically is flagged as illegal because you're essentially using characters to change the Pokemon's name to have a color. You can't trade Pokemon that have Nintendo characters or special symbols in their name, so it then obviously makes the Pokemon illegal by the anti-cheat. So you might be thinking, well, this is just novelty, I'm just looking at it and it's just a different color name. But here's the problem with this. After experimenting, Spooky had found that once annulling out the text format as well as the color for any piece of text in the game that you use this for, it actually crashes your game as you instantly view it, as it tries to load something that doesn't exist. What this means is now that we have found this problem with the game, we have already made a crasher cheat code, an anti-crash, so people cannot use this crash against us if people make it, as well as also finding out problems with Pokemon themselves and uploading to the global trade station. You see, you can literally crash someone now in the player search system by changing your name to have a nulled out text format and color, which is really bad. This means that essentially you can target crash people kind of like the clone exploit, if people remember that, except now you have no protection against it because it will instantly crash as soon as your game updates the player search system information off my console. And what about specific Pokemon as well? You can do the exact same thing with Pokemon by hex editing the name so it has a nulled out text format and color. All you need to do then is go into a trade and then show the Pokemon to this person whilst you use the anti-crash. Your console will not crash, but their console will instantly crash as it tries to once again load something that doesn't exist or isn't normally possible. And finally you have the global trade station. The exact same thing as before, you just create that Pokemon with the nulled out text format and color, you upload the Pokemon to the global trade station, and as soon as you click onto that Pokemon and try to load their data, like their name, you're fucked. Like, it will literally instantly crash. I'll show a couple videos throughout here. I'll show you the one on the global trade station. There's one with Giratina and Arceus at the moment, and I've also did a trade between myself to show the crash happening between my two DS's. As of me recording this video, only a small handful of people actually have the text colorizer cheat. So obviously me, Spooky, Mikasa, ZD, Noel, Lee, a couple other people I'm pretty sure also have it. But everyone so far has used it responsibly. The Pokemon that were uploaded to the global trade station, I'm not going to say the person who did it, but they didn't actually intentionally mean for it to be a crasher Pokemon as you view it. They're only trying to test to see what would happen if they messed around with the text format and the color. So don't hate on that person if you figure out who it is. They were only just messing around, and they said that they're not going to do it ever again. They only were doing it just to see and test and, you know, see the actual outcomes of what would happen if you messed with the text formatter and the colorizer. Now, with me saying that, however, there's a pretty fair chance that more people will get a hold of this cheat as time goes. It turns out that this, I thought it was going to be like a pretty, it could have been a bit more complex than it was, but it's actually really simple. So as soon as other hackers start to use their brain and try to think about how it works, it's going to pretty quickly just get either leaked online, or more people are going to get it and use it maliciously. An example of this is ZD sells his plugins. A lot of people know this. Don't buy them, but this cheat code is going to be available in his plugin eventually, so it means anyone that buys ZD's plugin will instantly have access to it. I don't know if ZD actually has the way of it crashing, but after this video and seeing how I've just explained how it works, there's a pretty fair chance that if he didn't figure out how to crash people with Pokemon via this method, he will now know anyway. So what will be the outcome of all of this? Like, what will be the final thing, like the nail in the coffin? Well, I personally would start fucking just expecting a crash every single time we go on the fucking global trade station, like the next 12 months, because as soon, like I said before, as soon as people start figuring out that you can literally just crash people's game by changing a fucking text format and a color and uploading a Pokemon to the global trade station, it's gonna get really bad. It's going to be probably just as worse as the Gen 7 GTS with the image crash, except with this one actually crashes even faster. As soon as you click onto that player search system profile on the global trade station, your game instantly crashes because it can't load the player's name correctly because it's all fucked. So as time goes on, this is going to become a lot more of a problem, and I honestly reckon there'll be a lot more targeted crashes on the player search system, on the global trade station, and also in just local trading. Anyway folks, that is it for now. Make sure to share this video around with people who still play Pokemon X and Y and Auras so they are aware that this exploit now exists. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you all later.